So when you see this underwater UFO that this fellow's talking about,
they're very they're not unusual.
Right, and he's here, Rob. If you want to play this clip, because CBS wrote about this, so CBS is not going to write something about this. Maybe go ahead and play the clip, Rob.
It does seem a lot of these UAP sightings are over water. Do you think there's anything to that and the basing concepts that you were laying out?
I do. When I've talked to people, or their sonar people, and the way they hide it from us, Matt, they say it's because our sonar, I believe, I haven't been briefed on this, I'm just from what I'm putting together, but we have some secret sonar. But what's so crazy about it, like we're hiding it from the Chinese. Well, heck, Matt, the Chinese sold us the components for it. They know it's in our sonar probably better than we do. But when they tell me something's moving at hundreds of miles an hour underwater, and our capabilities are, I don't think we have anything that'll do 40 miles an hour. And these things, this one was large as a football field underwater. And this was a documented case. And I have an admiral telling me this stuff. And it just, to me,
So that's where you think the bases are, is underwater then, because of those reports?
I do. I just think traveling light years, I think it happens. I think it's possible. The vastness of God's great universe. I mean, light years, the light from those stars that we see at night left there before the time of Christ. I mean, the vastness of God's great universe is unreal. Yeah. And I'm not worried about them harming me. I mean, if they, with that capabilities, they would have barbecued us a long time ago, brothers.
Okay, let me comment a few things here.
Please.
And I'm going to be as polite as I can be here. A little knowledge is a very dangerous thing. Those accounts are 100% correct. However, I also know that not only have there been non-human craft with that capability, we have man-made ones with that capability. Now, here's an example. You have about a 300-foot diameter. This is 300 feet across, man-made. When it left, if you read the account, and this Marine, went to the Senate Intelligence Committee.
May I read that?
Went to the Senate Intelligence Committee and to Aero at the Pentagon, the office set up to research this. All of his evidence was sanitized and distorted by Dr. Kirkpatrick, which is a big problem. Fraud was being committed there. But when this left, this 300-foot diameter, it left like a spark off a grinding wheel. It went up. It sounded just a little bit like a transformer over the horizon in a couple seconds. We're not talking hundreds. We're talking hundreds of thousands of miles per hour. No sonic boom. Why? Because they create an electromagnetic field bubble in space-time that they move through. Now, that's human. So what people are going to have to get their heads around is that a B-2, and you know what Admiral Wilson said at the end of that briefing? I said, we really need your, now this is 1997, 27 years ago, and 28 almost in April. And I said, sir, we need your help to get these programs under control because they are an existential threat to our nation and to life on Earth. Not the ETs, but these covert, deep state criminal enterprises. And he said, well, doctor, here's what I've learned. They have technologies that can do circles around the best thing I know I have, and that's a B-2 stealth. I said, yes, sir, they do. He says, then it's point, set, match. It's over. So he backed off of it. This is Admiral Wilson. Now, one of the big problems is this has happened over and over in meetings I've been taking with people all the way back to the director of the CIA for Clinton. But to Clinton's credit, Clinton actually did stand up a very, and probably the best in modern times, effort. It was called Team Red, to penetrate these black illegal projects. Team Blue would be your conventional military. And this was an entity that could be inserted and kind of switch both ways, right? The problem with that is that Team Red was eventually all absorbed into Team Black, or they were killed. Now, I'm working with someone who was part of Team Red as a young man in 1995. But that enterprise went south very badly. And
what do you mean?
It was destroyed. And it was parts of it, I think, were a bloodbath, from what I understand. So, of course, it was very clandestine. It was an attempt to penetrate illegal black projects within our own country. But you're talking 30 years ago now. But President Clinton really did try to fix this, although he never talked about it publicly. And that's kudos to him. And then he backed off because it was just too dangerous. So here's the big problem with any administration, because I've read between the lines, been doing this a little while. They don't know enough to make a proper strategic plan. And this is why they need good advisors. I don't care if it's me, but it's got to be somebody. It can't be somebody who's going to give you 1 part truth and 3 parts misinformation or disinformation, or fold in all the scary alien stuff.
Well,
that's
I mean,
false, which is exactly what people like Elizondo and others are doing. So the problem is that if you have something this important, let's say just for argument's sake, let's say that everything I'm saying is true. Mm-hmm. This is all planning to come out this year through the intelligence community and a whole group of whistleblowers with the evidence and the proof. If this is handled wrong, what I've had conversations with people who have coming into the administration, they know that this will be 1,000 times worse than what went bad with COVID. It'll be 1,000 times worse than that.
Why is that?
Because if you get this wrong and it pivots the whole world in a panic, because there's non-human intelligence out there that are presented as a threat, that are abducting people and killing people and doing this, and it gets spun and mutilated into that direction, which has always been this covert group's plan. Then we're going to go into a dystopian tailspin that will be way worse than COVID. So, but if you get it right, you get the golden age. There's all this talk, the golden age. Well, we wanted that in the 90s, So we thought, well, if this comes out, because here's why they connect the dot to what you just said about the lost century, about the technologies. Hello, I'm Dr. Stephen Greer. I'm on Connect. If you'd like to ask me questions or learn more about the UFO UAP issue, contact me there, and we can unpack whatever you want to know about the disclosure efforts, about covert technologies, and what's going to be coming up in the next year or so as we go forward in a large disclosure on the extraterrestrial and UFO issue.
If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.